Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman, Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing of a game that many of us have been waiting to make its way over to the shores of old Blighty, and it is of course Carrier Battles, Philippine Sea, designed by Jon Southard, and he's the chap that designed the original Carrier way back, and this iteration is published by Compass Games. So, what's all this about? Spruance, you did a damn fine job there, says Admiral Ernest J. King, the Chief of Naval Operations. So, Carrier Battle, Philippine Sea, is a solitaire simulation of the largest carrier battle in history, fought during the invasion of Saipan, June 1944. As the US commander, you manoeuvre your task forces and conduct air searches in a tension-packed contest to find the Japanese carriers before they locate and attack yours. Simple game mechanics control Japanese movement and determine the timing and strength of their attacks. You will not know that a Japanese airstrike is headed your way until it is detected by radar and you scramble your fighters to intercept. The game has a total of 9 scenarios. 5 learning scenarios take you through the rules by programmed instructions using slices of the real battle. The other 4 are full-scale, fully replayable games. These include a 1-day scenario for the crucial first day of the battle, a 2-day scenario for the whole battle, a hypothetical scenario presuming different US plans, and a hypothetical scenario in which Midway was never fought and the Japanese come armed with the full Pearl Harbor striking force. So, components. 1 22 by 34 inch map, 3 counter sheets of 9/16 of an inch counters, 1 Butai display, 1 game turn flowchart, 1 air raid flowchart, 1 Japanese movement priorities card, 4 charts and tables cards, 1 rule booklet, 1 playbook, and 1 10-sided die. Designer, as mentioned earlier, Jon Southard. Project Director, Billy Thomas. Game artist and box cover design by Bruce Yerian. Here's some examples of the counters and an overview of the map and some of the player aids. And down here we've got complexity. It says is medium high. Timescale, 1 turn is 80 minutes. Map scale, 1 hex is 33 nautical miles. Unit scale, single ships, groups of ships or aircraft. Number of players and suitability for solitaire, 1 and high, of course. Average time to play, 1 to 6 hours. Recommended age, 14 plus. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off. It's a 2 1/4 inch box, I believe. Nice and sturdy. So let's open the box. So, 10-sided die and some plastic bags. And then we have the rules. So let's have a look at those. The rule book comes in at 59 pages, full colour, glossy paper. And we've got a table of contents and the introduction, how to learn the game equipment and counters, and an explanation of those. Sequence of play, using this game turn flowchart, and then into more detail of the sequence of play. And then read this, play scenario 1. This is what I like to see. Programmed learning. So once you've done that, some more rules, air-sea combat. And then scenario 2. Learn some more, getting more complex, more in depth. and then play scenario 3. So just a couple of pages each. I think the most rules you have to learn to get going is to do scenario 1. Intelligence levels. I think from now on it's learn everything and play the full scenarios. Detection and search. It's anything like Jon's earlier game, Carrier. This is quite involved. Oh, scenario 4. So, lots to learn there. Yeah. Japanese air raids. Scenario 5. Love it. Submarines. There they are. And then victory conditions. And then read down to here. At this point, you're ready to play scenario 6 and 7. Good grief, there's advanced rules as well. So, land-air reinforcements, leeward movement, advanced search options, retirement of ships, I suppose, if they're damaged, Japanese refueling, surface combat. So, a lot of advanced rules. Night air operations, shuttle race to Guam, and some additional variants, credits at the end, and designer notes with a little bibliography here. And continuing on to the other side. Them's the rules. Here's the playbook, a bit thinner, 30 pages. How to play comprehensive example. That's good. Going through all that. Lots of pictures. Going through these action phases. So that's always good to see. And then scenario 1. And again, reminding you which rule sections you have to read. So the setup details. Here's scenario 2 and so on. Won't go through it because it's just gobbledygook at the moment. But a nice looking playbook. Scenario 5 and 6. Seven and 8. Oh, 9. And some optional time and date stuff on the back. With some great photos. There we go. Like most solitaire games, there is a plethora of player aids. Here's card 1, front, and we've got US air-to-air combat tables and one for the Japanese. Carrier operations limit chart, intercept range table, fuel levels for interception, expenditure summary, safe return table. And on the back of card 1 we've got strike contact tables, surprise tables, and look at this, air search table. Here's the front of card 2. We've got Japanese cap strength table and Japanese escort fighter table, Japanese action versus battle line table, anti-aircraft fire table, air attack die rolls and damage tables. And on the back of this one we've got Japanese air raid generation table, air raid strength for level 1 to 2 forces, unknown air strength, and 1 for level 1 to 2 forces, known air strength. Card 3, we've got, I assume that's level 1 to 2 intelligence table, 2 to 3 surface forces table, L2 to L3 carrier forces table, known air strength modifiers, lots of stuff in this, screen generation chart, and L3 to L4 carrier forces table. And on the back we've got the air raid strength for levels 3 to 4 forces and Guam. I've just noticed that each of these sort of tables has the rules reference there, so you can check that. Air raid strength reduction chart and the commitment tables are there. Card 4, on the front we've got US damage effects summary chart, Japanese damage effects summary, fire outbreak and spread, and the rest look like they're to do with submarines. And on the back of this, surface combat fire table and some great colour pictures. The remaining player aids are all single-sided. We start with the game turn flowchart. So lots going on each turn, lots of phases, and this will help us keep track of where we are. Here's a flowchart for air raids and one entitled Japanese movement priorities. This one's a bit larger, it's a bifold, and this is the Butai display. Next, 3 sheets of counters wrapped up in shrink wrap, which probably means they're going to go all over the place when I take this off. But let's have a look at these. So here's sheet 1. We've got some ships here and aircraft counters. Of course, at this stage, I'm not sure what anything does, but this one isn't the best centered, as we can see here. Here's the other side, so it looks like most of the counters have one active side. Here's sheet 2, and this looks much better centered. And here's the other side. And here's sheet 3. And the other side of that. Last thing in the box is the mounted map. So let's have a look at that. So here's the map in nearly all its glory. As I always say, can't quite fit it all in, but it's a nice looking mounted map. Needs flattening down with some books. And along the top we've got some tracks and some air mission tracks here and task group boxes. So let's have a close-up and a look around the map. So on the ocean part itself, we've got some icons. That might mean refueling with an oiler, and different zones with numbers on them, and little sort of top-down views of, I assume, carriers. So we've got the general records track here. Underneath, the turn track, split into sort of day and night. Japanese arrival track next door. And further along to the right, we've got the Guam air display, Japanese sunk and exited ship boxes, and a couple of boxes for the Guam air raid. Over on the right, we've got these air mission tracks with a little box up there saying critical fuel elimination, and some holding boxes, it looks like. Air units lost, not in task group hex. Air units lost in the task group hex. Task group in the battle line. Task force in hex. All this will become clear to me. And down the bottom, we've got the task groups with the rear admirals in charge and what's happening to all the aircraft. They're ready, they've been serviced, they're in the hangar, or they're actually in the process of landing. Looks rather good, but that's it. The box is empty. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of a much anticipated game for me, at least. And it is Carrier Battle, Philippine Sea, a game designed by Jon Southard and published by Compass Games. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and you found it interesting. If you did and you haven't done so already, it would be wonderful if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Really does help. Pushing that like button, the thumbs up, helps tremendously as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Leave a comment. Yep, there's been a few unboxings and a few playthroughs of this, but I've only just received this. But tell me, what do you think? Let me know, because I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go, if you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can. You can buy the channel a coffee, and I'll leave a link in the description for that. Or you could push the super thanks button underneath this video. Either of which, if you decide to do that, would be gratefully received, and all goes in the pot to help the channel keep ticking along. So thank you. Right then, more rules to learn, but it does look good, and hopefully in the near future you'll see it on the channel. But anyway, I hope you can join me for whatever the next video is. But until then, as always, you take care and goodbye.